Boom. Rolling.
What up?
They see me rolling.
Rolling. Oh.
They
I want the
hate
other way. I want Limp Bizkit.
You
went
would go with
Chameleonaire.
Biscuit.
Yeah,
Jake,
of course
you're
I
looking
would.
fresh.
Yeah, fresh Jake over
Dude, I got
here.
a haircut.
Old freshy poo. Looking good. Looking sharp.
Whoa, Cody.
Cody, did you just ejaculate, Cody?
Yeah, I couldn't help it, man. I saw that fresh cut and couldn't help myself. I don't like that with the soundboard. Anthony has the power to make me come involuntarily.
Dude,
Just like Emma Frost.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Emma Frost.
Anthony is the Emma Frost of the podcast.
Does that mean we're just your little Stepford cuckoos or whatever?
I'm one of her clones. The guy with the altar boy vibes is the Emma Frost of the
Yeah,
podcast.
dude. I don't know. I don't know if you any longer have Altar Boy vibes. It's been 3 years, you know?
Good. I shouldn't. I'm going to be a 33-year-old man. So shouldn't have altar boy vibes.
Oh, God.
And listen, after this show, I don't want any sort of religious order, priest, altar boy. I don't want to be part of any of that shit.
Yeah, Anthony brought it up. Already did that sick transition.
I was trying, and then Jake's like, wait a minute, hold up. Pump the brakes
What
real
was
hard.
the transition
So,
from coming to...
He said he doesn't want, after watching this show, he doesn't want any sort of religious affiliation
I didn't
Yeah.
even hear that.
because of that one dude.
I don't want the
You don't want the religious vibes? Yeah.
No.
That one dude, that episode is like the creepiest episode.
Yeah, that was definitely the
Yeah.
scariest episode.
Most of the scariest shit
And
on the
it,
show.
it has nothing to do with the
It has
cordyceps.
nothing to do with the cordyceps.
Just like in 28 Days Later, you know, like it's that kind of thing. Like, yes, they outrun the zombies, but then they're stuck with those like military dudes who just suck.
Yeah, and I mean, like the whole thing is like, who is the monster? Is it the cordyceps or is it the people? You know, that's the whole
Or is
thing.
the monster in all of us at all times?
Yeah, just waiting for an excuse.
Yeah. Well,
Welcome to Comics and Chronic, everyone. I'm Jacob H., one of your hosts. You already know who's with me. It's Anthony Iannaccio and Cody Cannon, and today we are talking HBO's The Last of Us by Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, based off of the Naughty Dog game, The Last of Us.
great game. Naughty Dog's awesome. You guys ever play Jack and Daxter back in the day?
No, see,
they made
my
that
Naughty
game too.
Dog experience was all in the Uncharted games.
Uncharted, okay. Didn't they also make Crash Bandicoot? Is that Naughty Dog?
I don't know.
I feel like Naughty Dog also made Crash Bandicoot.
Really? I don't know about that.
I don't know. All I know is I played I'd say a quarter of the first game because I got it, but it was right around the time I stopped playing video games. So
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
same.
I never finished the first game, but I've played a lot of it. Never beat it.
They did make Crash Bandicoot. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
We need HBO's Crash Bandicoots ASAP.
Dude, we need the dramatization of Crash Bandicoot.
dude, I want to be the mask. Liberwa.
Dude, Pedro Pascal as Crash Bandicoot.
Dude, honestly, I feel like I'm worried that that as many roles as he's taking, I'm worried that the quality might dip. But so far, not the
You're
case.
talking
No, he
crazy.
was not the problem with this show.
First off, time out. What was the problem?
The way I
with
phrased
the
that,
show,
yeah.
Anthony? That's seriously one of the
Me-
boldest statements.
No, me and Cody had a pre-show combo. Yeah.
Oh, I have my beefs too.
Ooh, what are your beefs with the show? I already don't respect your opinions, but I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what they are. Well, here, let's give a synopsis first for those of you that have not played the game or watched the show. Pretty much a crazy fungus is infecting the world. It's a cordyceps.
Turning people into zombies.
Although on set, they were not allowed to say the zombie word. Craig Mazin said they could not say zombies or anything with Z. They couldn't even say monsters. They had to say infected on set.
Nice.
Okay.
Treat it like a disease.
Exactly. So yeah, basically a mutant cordyceps ravages humanity. You meet Pedro Pascal's character on like day one of the infection. It's him with his daughter. His daughter gets shot. And then
Joel is his name.
And then fast forward 20 years later, it's now post-apocalyptic world. There are some military-ran QZ zones, quarantine zones, and then there's everything in between, from people living on their own to a bunch of cannibal raiders to weird motherfuckers. And that's where we meet.
Yeah.
Ellie.
You really see people's true colors coming out.
Yeah. Also, the outbreak starts in 2003, which is interesting. Like, culture freezes in 2003. So anything that came out after that doesn't affect the show.
There's nothing. Yeah, literally 2 years after 9/11, as if things couldn't get bad enough. You know what I mean?
So it went 9/11 and then a mutant cordyceps outbreak.
Yep. Oh man, yeah, that word. Just thinking about
that's a really big. That's a tough few years there.
Damn. 13-year-old me is just like, I would not survive. I'd be like, oh fuck.
You would survive if you were Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, who is immune to the cordyceps.
Yeah, she's immune.
Yeah, and in a Blade-like scenario.
Yeah, which is not in the game. That's only made for the TV show. Her origin.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's not a game thing. You don't ever find out why she's immune in the game. She just is.
So the mission is not to get Ellie so that
No,
they
it
can
is. But
It is.
You just don't know. It doesn't have an explanation.
There's no explanation as to why she's immune.
No, but I'm saying in the game, is it like an escort mission the whole time too, in the sense that like you're trying to get her to this place so that they could take her blood? Is that still the same kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. It's to use her to make a vaccine.
But they don't explain it, you're saying, in the game at all. Like, this is something the show's giving backstory.
They don't explain why she's immune.
Okay.
Because, I mean, they wouldn't know why. You know what I mean?
They would never know why.
Yeah.
What, Anthony? You seem to have a problem with that.
No, I don't. I'm just confused. I was just
what are you confused about?
I just think lost in translation because so the video game. You're Joel, you're taking Ellie, because I played a little bit of it, but I didn't know, like, the game doesn't tell you right away what's happening. The mission of the game is still to get Ellie to this place to make sure they could find the cure. You don't know why she is immune, but the game is still, because I guess what I'm very like curious about is how different is the game from the show? Like, what is changed, like, or what is added?
Not a lot, honestly. There are some changes for sure, but it's really like almost 99% the game, even to like lines of dialogue, to actual shots in the show are literally taken directly from the game. In fact, the majority of the voice actors in the game are in the show as well.
Yes, I did catch that. Like Troy Baker is one of
Troy Baker's in it. The girl who plays Ellie plays her mom in the last episode.
Yep, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Who's Troy Baker?
Troy Baker is Joel in the video game.
But
who did he play in the show?
He was the cannibal priest's right-hand man.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He also, Troy Baker voices like almost any video game you play. Troy Baker is the voice of that character.
Yeah.
And that's not even an exaggeration. He's like a huge video game voice actor.
If you think also of Obi-Wan in the animated series, that's Troy Baker. Like, he does fake Ewan McGregor perfectly.
He played Joker in Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh, he does a great Joker. Nice. Yeah.
He actually does do a great Joker voice.
What I thought was interesting for the show is that's how he would look if they casted him as Joel for the show. You know, like that Joel is just that. He's just beard guy in the video game. Like, so I thought it was interesting that he got that role. And that, like, you kind of got a glimpse, like, yeah, you know what? This is why you need Pedro Pascal to, like, carry the show. Like, he's not a bad actor, but he doesn't have that, like, power that he does as a voice actor.
This is why you need PP, dog. Double P.
Double P.
Yeah, dude, Pedro crushed it.
Yeah.
He crushes in everything.
Bella Ramsey crushed it, too.
Yeah, Bella
Yeah, she
Ramsey,
was
their
awesome.
chemistry was incredible.
Yeah.
It was
I
great.
loved her as Liana Mormont.
I feel like carried the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for sure, their chemistry carried the show.
Yeah. Liana Mormont and Oberyn Martell
Yep.
going on their post-apocalyptic adventures.
Did you notice, actually, and I even, I had my friend rewatch it, it's the episode after he gets stabbed. So it ends with her, like, trying to, like, figure out what to
Hide
do.
him,
Hide him.
yeah.
Yeah.
The music that's playing in the background is Game of Thrones music. It's the opening Game of Thrones, do 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 do, but it's like
How?
super slowed down.
Why?
What do you mean? It's both HBO.
But it, like in the world, you could hear it, or is like they're
The
using
music
Game
that's
of.
playing. Go back and watch it and tell me that's not the Game of Thrones opening song.
But like, why is the show using it? Like they don't hear it like on a TV.
Just as a
you're
nod
saying.
to the fact that the two lead actors are from Game of Thrones.
Oh, gotcha. Like if like John Williams was the composer, he's not, but like he's just kind of like nodding to it in the soundtrack.
Well, there's a bunch of nods to like things that are either HBO related or which HBO actually does in the majority of its shows, is it references its own creations. Fucking
I'm thinking of Sopranos when they
Sopranos.
when they're watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
The Wire also, he Omar Little watches HBO. Anyways, but there's a part where they even show the Naughty Dog symbol, and it's on the Fedra dude's keys when he's talking to Bella. It's with the episode with Storm Reed when they go into the mall.
Yeah. Oh, so okay, so Cody said he didn't like that episode, but I liked that episode. What did you think?
Why?
I mean, I didn't hate it. It was just fine. It,
Yeah.
of the episodes, it wasn't my favorite.
To me, it honestly kind of had the same exact weight as the third episode with Nick Offerman.
That was a great episode too.
One was a tale of old love. This was a tale of young love.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
No, I think the acting was better in 3 than in 6 or whatever, 6, 7, whatever that one was. And it was kind of the same note. So like, it just wasn't as exciting for me as the first one. Like Nick Offerman and his partner really crushed it. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't as exciting as episode 3 for me.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was like the point, was to be more exciting than anything else. It was just
I'm just saying, like, I was,
tale of love, like first love.
yeah.
I thought like Nick Offerman's was almost the exact opposite. I'm just saying, like, it's cool. Like they clearly creatively did that. One episode focused solely on Nick Offerman and his partner Murray Bartlett's character, and this one focused solely on Bella Ramsey's and Storm Reed's characters.
Mm-hmm.
2 males, 2 females, 2 different sides of the age spectrum. I thought it was actually like a really nice parallel.
No, that makes sense.
No, yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, it wasn't as crazy. If I'm being honest, by the time, a part of it might be how I felt about the show by the time that episode rolled around,
Well, what
too.
is it? You guys seem to be pretty irked by certain things in the show, and I have yet to hear why.
No, I'm not irked. I was gonna say when we're talking about like episodes we really liked, I think my favorite episode hands down is 5.
Which one is that
I like 4 into 5. So 5
With Henry
and Sam.
and Sam?
So
that one's a
it's-
really good one.
Yeah, it's the dude and his
Yeah.
little brother who's deaf, and like, oh, everything about it from beginning to end. I love that episode. It just, the way it ends, it's just like, yes, that's how all HBO episodes need to end. Like, I want to watch the next episode. It has all the excitement, all the emotional, like all the emotions. It's just like, fuck, like you just shot your little brother in the head, like, and he like doesn't know he did it. Like you find that like he just doesn't realize what he was doing, but he knows he had to do it. But like the specific scene. So like, what's her name? Ellie thinks she could cure him by like squeezing her blood on his open wound.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids. And
Medical advice here.
great medical advice. But I thought it was really cool how, like, first of all, it was sad, like you knew that kid was fucked. But also, like in the morning, like he's sitting on the bed and like you know he turned. But like because he's deaf, like he doesn't do anything until she like touches his shoulder.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Which I thought was like the opposite of those other infected where they could hear you but not see you. I thought that was a cool parallel too.
You're right. I
Right?
didn't even think about
Nice.
that. No, you're right, because I've watched that episode a couple times and I was like, yeah, why didn't he hear him? And then you're right, he's deaf. That's why.
Right. So like until she touches his shoulder, then he's like, and then like shit goes down.
Sam, poor kid.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah, that was sad.
I mean, honestly, like this show nailed pretty much every episode is sad as fuck.
Oh, it has to feel that way. Yeah, and it did. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Every
It did
episode
accomplish
ends
that.
on a depressing note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think that the Nick Offerman Murray Bartlett episode was like honestly that's some top tier HBO television.
I agree.
You know what
Super
I mean?
long
Like,
too. It was like a mini movie.
dude. The first episode is an hour and like 30 minutes, or like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of hated that the finale was 45 minutes.
Yeah, so radically different. And also the first episode and the second, but especially the first, like it opens with that flashback of the news show, and I really like that. Like that really made it feel scary and real. And that's what sucked me in.
Yeah.
Dude, also shout out to that guy on the news show. You guys might remember him as the brother from The Mummy.
The Mummy, yes, yes,
Yeah.
fuck yes. Yo, I'm telling you, we need to do a Mummy episode. Like that's an episode. That's a movie I've loved for years.
Actually, I also had a commie just ask me to do The Mummy.
Yes, and it's a Brendan Fraser
Nice.
Renaissance. So
And
we
it's Brendan
gotta
Fraser.
talk
you
to
know,
Mummy.
it's 2023 is the Brendan Fraser Renaissance year.
Yeah,
Nice.
You have the Harlem Renaissance, the Italian Renaissance, and now you got the Brendan Fraser Renaissance.
the Fraser Sans.
The Fraser. That's awesome. Also, shout out to Brendan Fraser for winning Best Actor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Longtime fan of the pod.
Long time.
Everyone knows Brendan Fraser listens to Comics and Chronic.
Yeah. Like we actually couldn't put out the episode with him because he was so emotional. He just kept crying. We were just like, Brendan
kept crying.
Fraser, like he just couldn't stop crying.
He was like, I really want to thank you guys.
But we were the ones to suggest, we're like, dude, you should put on a fat suit and do like an A24 drama. And he was like, he started crying. He said, yeah, I think I will.
Oh, man.
That's a true story. Don't question it.
I think the whale should have been played by Eddie Murphy, and it'd be a more dramatic take on the Nutty Professor.
I totally agree.
I don't know. There's only one man who can wear fat suits, in my opinion, and it's Eddie Murphy.
Well, when we make our Nutty Professor graphic novel, which we talked about years ago, we'll include that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of praise for this show. I want to hear your criticisms. I just want to hear if they're valid.
Okay, so my criticisms out the gate, I don't think they should have done the entire video game in the first season.
Agreed.
Maybe, or just more episodes.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, had they included like 4 more episodes, they probably could have wrapped it up
I agreed.
perfectly.
Which I just want to reference goes back to something that we have actually talked about before on this podcast. And it's that HBO used to make 13 episode seasons.
Yeah.
And they don't. Like Post Sopranos, they no longer do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which I think is like kind of even the first like what 4 or 5 Game of Thrones episode. That was all like 10, 13 episodes.
well, yeah, 10 episodes.
I am
yeah.
kind of tired of the fact that HBO does these little baby episode shits, you know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
no, I agree. I felt like they could have just done more world building.
Exactly,
You know what I
agreed.
mean?
Yep.
They could have fleshed the world out. They could have had us care about characters a little longer than one episode. It seemed like
Who didn't you care about?
no, I'm saying like for instance, the woman that you hated that died an episode later, her and her right-hand man, the priest and the guy who did the voice acting.
Wait, what woman that died?
She was the leader in Kansas City.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
the
runs
one
the
that was
Karen
after
there.
him. Post-apocalyptic
Yeah, that
Karen?
Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic Karen. Yeah.
That's really what she was, dude. Everything, she was like, you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to kill you and your little brother. You can't just
Yeah.
shut up, bitch. Like, I wouldn't even be intimidated if she was threatening me like that. I'd be like, bitch, just shut the fuck up.
I just hated that she wanted to kill Sam. Like that just really pissed me off.
You know, racist Kansas white people.
Oh no, but like what I'm saying is like every character that was introduced died usually that same episode.
Hmm.
And
That's how life be, dog.
No, and I'm not saying like I'm just saying like I don't know. I feel like the show was just lacking for me. I think my favorite things about it by far were Pedro and Bella's acting and
easily.
chemistry.
Agreed.
But I feel like there were a lot of things that I feel like the writing would have been great writing if this was a video game. I feel like some of the writing felt like it was like,
well, some of it was literally pulled from the video game.
Exactly. And so some of it like makes sense and some of it like just felt forced. Video game.
Not forced, but like
forced.
Dialogue in video games, especially like the Last of Us, right? Like you're walking through the world and then you hear Ellie maybe say something like one of these puns or one of the jokes she's saying. Like she is funny, but in a video game, like you don't necessarily have to listen to it. You might be doing something in the corner and this dialogue is happening and maybe depending on how close you are to the character. So, but when it's on the forefront, I kind of get what Cody's saying. Like it's not terrible dialogue, but it is very video game-y in a way that's not HBO.
There were definitely a few lines that were forced.
Yeah. And then there were some scenes like once or twice during the show where like it makes sense in a game when you're like, oh, we got separated. Let's just meet at this checkpoint down the road.
It felt like that. Yeah.
But that happened like 3 or 4 different times throughout the show.
Yeah.
Oh, there were plenty of times where it was like definitely out of the video game where it was like, I'm going to lift you up there so you can crawl in the corner. It's like what you do in God of War with Atreus. And
exactly. Like Ellie, crawl in the hole. You're the only one that could fit. Open the door.
That ladder over there so I can climb up. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah,
but in a way, I don't know. I think I might kind of like that.
No, I do like that. I want to count that as a strike against the show.
Yeah, I kind of like, oh, that's very video gamey.
I just didn't. I mean, for me, I just didn't. I wanted to watch a Last of Us show. I played the video game and I've seen a bunch of the cutscenes and it's a great video game, but I didn't want to watch video game the show. I wanted to see a cool story, and I don't care if it's the same one told in it, but I wanted it to be like more. Well, you have a lot like they're different mediums. You know what I mean?
I have a question. Would you have liked it if there were quite literally more monsters, more of the infected?
Yeah, probably.
That was a big criticism from a lot of people who were like, "Dude, this show is boring." And it's like, you know what? I'm not saying you're saying this, but I had a few people online who were saying this, and they're like, "Dude, where's the zombies? Where's the this?" And in my head, I was like, "Dude, this isn't fucking Walking Dead. It's not, almost the anti-Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead, for as big as the show it is, every episode is just like, oh, we got to kill this horde of zombies. It's like, come on, like." This show does not throw monsters at you, which I kind of wish we like the episode with Sam when you see the bloater, the big one. Oh, that was fucking incredible. Like,
and that's all we ever see.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I thought that bearded dude was going to be way more of a badass, and then he just he's just like, ripped off. And that thing walks up, and he's like, oh.
I will say that scene in that episode is sick.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, definitely the best action sequence in the show.
I just thought that episode has the best. That episode had the best action and the best emotional stakes, and like I felt for the characters.
Also, going back to the video game thing, it was literally taken from the video game was them growing up that street with the sniper. And they're like, you hide behind these cars, and I'm going to shoot my way to that was cool. I'll provide cover fire, which is literally from the video game.
Yeah, I played that level actually, and also that dude's name was Anthony. They're like Anthony.
Yeah.
There's also a part. It would be me, the old man just with the sniper. Yeah, it's silent.
Like, please don't do this.
And then also there's a part. It's not a person's name, but they're going somewhere, and they're like Cody.
Ah, nice.
We got name drops in this episode.
We got name drops. Wait, hold on. That brings me to who are we in The Last of Us?
Who are we?
Yeah, like which characters are we most like?
Cody has a thought because he just smiled.
I think.
What are you thinking?
For me, I'm either gonna be. I think I'd either be Nick Offerman's lover. Or Tommy.
I was gonna say Nick Tommy. I was gonna say Nick Offerman, but yeah, like you're definitely in the gay in the relationship, which isn't a bad thing. They thrive.
Yeah,
they have the best setup. They have the best fucking setup.
Survivor in this show. They have the best setup.
I love their defense turrets too. Like if anyone comes, just like,
dude, that whole thing was sick. That episode's great.
Yeah,
that's like a primo HBO episode.
Definitely the best episode of the season for me.
Like that's one of those episodes that go down. Oh yeah, easy, the best episode in the series. No, dude, I had people who were like friends who just like don't give a shit about like certain social things, and he was like, dude, that was so beautiful, I cried. And I was like, you? I was like, you cried?
Awesome.
He's like, yeah. He was like, it was fucking amazing. So like, yeah, that's a good episode.
No, that's really cool. Yeah. So what if it's a gay relationship? Like it's still the same emotions.
I was just surprised that he
like,
cared that it was gays. He was like, dude, he's like, it was just beautiful. And I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
No, it was.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
it almost wouldn't have worked as well if it was a hetero relationship, because that would have been too much of the standard.
Yeah.
It was something different you were seeing, but also just like the story worked. Like it was like
they used the Arrival music, my guy.
Yeah, and the guy doing Nick Offerman's character being a "Don't Tread on Me" guy.
Yeah,
that's like he's like a QAnon fucking.
Yeah, a doomsday prepper.
But like you said, this is post 9/11. This is post 9/11, so it kind of makes sense that he was prepping. Like, oh, anything could happen now.
And all due respect, but he was ready too. So just goes to show
he was ready.
Those motherfuckers may be crazy, but if shit ever goes down like that.
But that's okay. I think that's a good point about the series, because I think in real life, kind of the opposite was happening, where like I'm right wingers were like watching the show up until that moment and kind of having that like yes, like
yeah, it was 5.
These guys are prepared. See, they have guns. This is why we need guns. But then they see that it's a homosexual relationship and their brains exploded. They cannot handle that. And I love that, I feel like if that's why you're not watching the show, then you're missing out, honestly. Like you're saying, that's probably the best episode of, like, it's not my favorite, but the way it's like made is just like when you think of an HBO series episode, that's the episode I'd pick. Like if there's one episode get like an Emmy Award, it's that episode. So like you're missing out on great TV, if you just skip that episode, or if that's what's turning you off from the show for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt like the world. If I'm being honest, it just felt a little undercooked. The show did. I think it was a great show.
Undercooked.
I liked it. like it just could have been fleshed out more.
No, I agree with you. I see your point, Cody. Like it's the kind of world you want it to stay in more.
Yeah, and it's a great, but I just like wanted a little bit more. And honestly, if due to my like qualms with like the writing being a little too video gamey, if it wasn't done so well, I probably wouldn't like it as much. You know what I mean? Like if Bella and Pedro weren't nailing those roles.
They were awesome. Their whole every scene with them, there's just genuine moments where I would tear up. I was like, oh, this is a beautiful relationship. They have really good chemistry. It's like they're really good performing with one another. It's cool to see.
That being said,
here we go.
You want to hear a crazy take?
Oh, here we go. It's fired. Oh, Cody.
Of the HBO shows we've covered, this is my least favorite.
Oh, that's not crazy. We covered Sopranos, which is already like
the
Sopranos.
Sopranos, House of the Dragon, and White Lotus.
Oh, I liked House of the Dragon better than this, and White Lotus better than this. Easily. That's not
same.
No, this is not the
strongest.
Cool.
No.
Okay.
You're not at all. Like it's
also you're putting this up against Sopranos. That's like putting up Anthony. It's like putting up Anthony against Mike Tyson.
Never a good idea. Mike Tyson doesn't want these hands anyway.
I agree with you. It's definitely not the strongest, but it is like even for I think a mediocre HBO show is still better than almost 90% of other shows. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because it's HBO quality, I feel like a mediocre show of
like this was better than Moon Knight easily.
Oh, I mean, one of our episodes is better than Moon Knight.
Any of our worst episode is better than Moon Knight.
So Abby Gavinden's interview.
Oh, that was awesome.
I wish I had the Mortal Kombat voice, like fatality.
Yeah, seriously. That was perfect timing.
That's so funny.
Abby Gavinden is like our cordyceps. She's the only thing that has infected our podcast.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys.
What?
Do you think if we, as ourselves, not as ourselves in 2003, but as ourselves as adults, do you think you guys could make it through this apocalypse?
Okay, well, hold on. I need to bring up a few things. You're also talking about like without getting infected as well?
Yeah, just like do you think you would make it through? Do you think
statistically, like if I'm going off the show, one thing like in the video game too, you can breathe in the spores and become infected that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't put it in the show because it doesn't make a lot of sense for the show.
Yeah, but
like mushroom spores spread crazy easily.
Yeah, they do spread crazy. Like I would have kind of appreciated that more. Like who doesn't know that about like black mold and shit that you shouldn't breathe it in? You know what I mean? Like I would have liked it. Just as a nerd in me, I would have appreciated that little scientific thing.
Yeah, mushroom spores are crazy. Like, did you know that like they could like survive extreme heat and extreme cold? So if you sent mushroom spores into space, they would survive. Yep. That's insane.
Some of them. I don't think all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Yeah, not all of them, but
yeah, not like a portobello. You know
Portobello's in space.
Dude, speaking of mushrooms, dude, I went on a 6 Super Mario purchasing binge the other day.
Nice.
Ooh, I saw your Bowser.
Dude, that thing is sick.
Dude, that thing's wild.
It's massive too.
Could Super Mario survive in The Last of Us?
Ooh, good question. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, he's been dealing with mushrooms his entire
whole life. He's like literally like the fucking Indonesian doctor in that one episode, which actually was probably my favorite opening of
Ooh, that was a great opening too, yeah.
Because that was scary as fuck.
Also, he would just based on the Pedro Pascal SNL skit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was a great sketch.
Yeah, that actually was pretty funny.
That really was a good sketch.
No, but do you guys think that you would survive?
Well,
yes.
when you were saying it, I want to say this, like COVID, right? Like I didn't get it until like last year. So I think I'd survive up until a moment, but then eventually you're gonna get it. Like how could you not? Like,
well, if you don't get it that was kind of like the whole thing at the end. If you're not getting killed by the cordyceps, you're getting killed by raiders, you're getting killed by random animals. You're getting killed from starving.
Yeah. Although I love the family, the husband and wife they find in like I don't know where they are.
Middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
I love that. Was hilarious. Family. Yeah, they were hilarious. I love the way they interacted.
That was like a really cool scene.
Yeah,
they're firefly people.
Yes. They were really good. I love when he's like, "You gave them soup."
Yeah, the old man was like in every like 90s movie as like the Native American dude. Like he was the only Native American actor I ever saw in like a 90s movie, I think.
That actor's been around for a while. He's cool.
So it's cool that he's still getting work and he's still great. He's great.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he's great.
I did really like seeing that like this old couple is surviving and thriving like in their own little cabin out in the middle of nowhere. They're like the safest out of anybody.
Yeah. People don't even know they're there.
Easily.
Yeah, that's what I think I'd be okay for a while at least, just based on location.
Yeah, so you're in West Virginia and you can go to the mountains.
Yeah.
But therein lies the trouble. It's like, okay, even if you don't get attacked by people, like the mountains, the fungus, there's shit growing out there. What if you just get it?
Well, here's the reason I don't think I would. I think like even if I survive for a while, I think the world would just break me at one point. At one point I'd have enough, and even if I like was making it, I'd probably off myself.
Damn. That's intense.
I don't think I'd like, I think I would be, I think like killing somebody I deem innocent to protect myself would fuck me up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know that.
We know you would, Jake. You know what I realized after we did the Titanic episode? Like a few times you have casted me as a character that offs himself. I was like, wait a minute. Cody always says I'm the dude that's going to kill himself.
Wait, well, going back to casting, who are we? Anthony, I would cast you as the cannibal priest guy.
I knew you were going to. I knew it from the beginning. You were going to cast.
I could see you as the cannibal priest.
I knew you were going to call me the cannibal priest. Of course. Hold on, Emily's walking in.
Did you Tell her who we casted you as.
I'll tell her.
We're getting word from HQ.
Really? That's who you give me? I hate you guys. But you know what? I kind of knew you were going to give me that guy. So
Honestly, before Jake said the cannibal priest, I was going to give you his right-hand man.
yeah, give me Troy Baker. At least give me that dude.
Sure, Baker. Okay.
I'm both the Emma Frost and the Troy Baker of this podcast. I'm the voice guy. Come on.
You're the voice guy?
Jake,
I already know who you're giving me, Cody, but I want to see if I'm right.
Jake, you're Nick Offerman. You're my lover.
I'm fine with that.
No.
I thought you were going to give me Casey Karen.
No.
Wait,
no.
who's Casey Karen?
Honestly,
Wait, what?
honestly,
The Karen of the QZ zone? That's
no, I wouldn't give Jake her. Honestly, my thoughts were either my lover or if you were going to be any woman, you would be Marlena.
Ooh, I was actually going to say Marlene.
Oh, Marlene. Yeah.
Marlene, yeah.
I'm down with being Marlene.
Yeah.
You got to do what's best for humanity, dog. I'll kill a child right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would be either Tommy or the gay lover of Nick Offerman.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm down with being Marlene.
And I'm just a cannibal religious dude, apparently.
You're the cannibal religious.
Either way, I'm a cannibal religious dude.
Well, I don't think, do you think the right-hand man knew that they were? Well, yeah, he
When you see
definitely
him pick
did.
it up, he like looks at it for a second,
He
he
looks
pauses,
at
and he's
it.
like, then he does eat it, but
Yeah.
like it's
They're eating human.
yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone knows that.
No, but he does. Because they
does.
say it's
Yeah.
venison, but they're the ones who were bringing back the deer. So there was no deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he knows. He for sure knows. It's just like that scene you see him react. It's subtle. It's like a second, but he picks up the piece and he like is very disgusted. But he eats it.
Yeah.
It's very cool watching Ellie defend herself from the cannibal priest on her own.
Yeah. It was so cool.
Dude, she was a clever little girl when she broke his fingers.
Yep.
I was like, nice, smart
Yeah.
move, fucking kill him.
But it did make me sad that, like, you know, in the next episode, that has fucked with her. Like, thus far, a lot of things haven't really gotten to her. Like, even like paralyzing that dude,
Nothing has gotten to her.
you know? This did.
But dude, that gave her major PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he almost killed her and almost raped her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
but that's the thing, is like she's also almost died a bunch of times. Like this is the one that got to her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, she's been dealing with a lot of shit. I mean, up until that moment, you know, she almost lost Joel, like,
That's
including.
true. This girl is literally like 14 years old. Like she's had to deal with a lot.
Yeah, she almost lost Joel.
She already lost her
made a
best
quick
friend
friend.
/ first lover, Storm Reed. It even implied that she's the one who shot her. Remember in the last episode?
Yeah.
she's talking to Joel, and she's like, "The person I shot was my best, was my friend."
Yeah, because we don't see her
The
fate.
first person she killed was her best friend. Like, because remember, she said she turns first, and then Ellie killed her.
Yeah.
Ellie's hardcore, dude.
Yeah, I like the scene. It's funny, but it's the moment where like they finally like, you know, right before they kiss, where they're wearing the Halloween masks and dancing.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
in
like
the
that
actual
scene.
game, but it's very silly, but it's in the game too, I think.
Oh, I like it a lot. I thought it was a cool scene.
I loved that they played The Cure on the merry-go-round.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cody, you were telling me that was your first time hearing The Cure? You were like, "Oh, who's this band?" And then you said you got tickets for their concert.
Yeah, based on that.
Great.
Well, Jake, you were telling me also in the same
here
episode that
we
was the
go.
first time you heard of Mortal Kombat, the game.
Yep, that's right.
You're like, "What is this?"
Dude, I did like that there were constant references to like things that were pre-outbreak.
Right.
You
But
know what I
nothing that
mean?
made it feel like they were like, well, I mean, how old is Ellie? Is she like, she's 16 or 14?
She's like 15, 14.
Oh, so she was born post. Okay, yeah. So like they
Yeah, she was
gravitate to
born
like
post.
90s and 80s things, it seems, you know?
Well, yeah, she had a Walkman. There was a few
Yes.
seasons where she's walking with Joel and she doesn't know certain things. Airplanes, she was like, people used to fly in them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all like cassettes. You don't see CDs, even though
Exactly.
we had CDs in 2003.
yeah, we did.
Oh, for
was
sure.
burning
CDs were
CDs.
actually, I would say they were on their way out in 2003.
Closer
That's
there,
true.
the iPod was coming out.
Yeah, the
Hell yeah.
iPod was out. They had the mini iPod, all that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
But also, like, if, those things probably were harder to stand the test of time, where a Walkman just needs batteries.
True.
you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then that shit'll last forever. Those things were like bricks.
Yeah, you could club someone to death with it easily.
That would have been a cool scene.
That's how I measure remember how I measured my Thanos toy? It's like, oh yeah, you could probably kill someone with this.
That's how you survive. You just have like a belt of like Marvel
just,
action
massive
figures.
toys. I'm like, God, I've survived 30 years. They call me the toy
There's like
man.
blood and like scuff marks on each
The
one.
toy man.
The
Oh,
toy man.
Jake back again.
Yeah, you said I was the toy man. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is
it
my
makes sense.
post-apocalyptic origin story.
That's actually a cool, like, grittier
physical.
take on the toy man. Like he's just bashing people in the head with his toe. I kind of like that.
That's hilarious. His one bad day.
Toy man, one bad day. Yes. Joel is a fucked up dude.
Joel is super fucked up.
Dude, yeah, you don't see it, but they allude to his shady past every single episode.
Yeah.
Like about how he's basically a monster.
Yep. And he knows it.
A monster who's just getting a little old.
I mean, dude,
you know?
like Joel's nice at killing. Like that dude is a beast.
Yeah, he's an assassin.
Oh,
The
yeah.
scene where he takes out the hospital in the last episode.
Ooh.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
Literally just one man's an entire army.
One man.
Yep. And then he just fucking point blank shoots the doctor. He's like, fuck you.
Good.
Yeah, like, you know what? Like, he's lost so much. You're not taking Ellie from him at this time, you know? Like,
So wait, that begs the question: is his decision like
Right or wrong?
selfish? Yeah, right or wrong? You know.
I mean, obviously, I don't think there's a right answer.
Yeah.
I think if you hardline say it was right or it was wrong, you're wrong. I think it's just like a very gray.
absolutely.
It is because it's like
That's
I
the
don't know if
smartest
I'd be
answer,
able to
Cody,
go-
honestly.
Yeah.
Because you could say, yeah, well, he shot the doctor. Now the world isn't saved. Like, is it Marlene that says it? Like, well, you could have saved the world and like given her Ellie a better world, which is a great point. You know, like
But she wouldn't have
She
made
would
it.
have been dead. She'd give like the future a better world.
the future, right? But
Yeah,
Ellie
but it
wouldn't have
also
made right?
wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, that's another thing. It wasn't.
It also wasn't her choice. It wasn't her choice. That's the biggest
dude,
deal.
and I'm all about my body, my choice.
No, seriously, I think that's a big point.
I'm not playing.
Also, if he's not old enough to vote or have sex legally, can you really give her the wherewithal to off herself? You know what I mean?
True. Having said that, remember, just for context sakes, this is post-apocalypse. It's been 23 years since there's been any voting or any, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of that shit's out the window.
Yeah, but like if you say a kid isn't informed enough to fight a war until they're 18, but you want a 14-year-old to decide whether or not they should die, that's insane.
So you're saying just kill her without her consent.
No, I'm saying protect her till she's old enough to give proper consent.
Okay.
I'm not saying like I don't have the answer. I think had I been Joel and had I
Would you have made
fallen
the
in
same
love,
choice?
like paternally in love with this kid, I definitely would have. Like if it was me and KO in Joel and Ellie's place,
shit.
I would fucking kill the hospital.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But you were saying just before you kill innocent people, you would off yourself. So that's not true. And I right? It's not. It's just not true for. I don't think it would be true for a lot of people. Like if it was your KO, I don't have a son, obviously, or a daughter, but in that situation, fuck yeah, you're not like, and especially after they've had some near misses, you know, like that's it. He's not taking any chances, or you shouldn't in this world. Joel has seen all there is to see, and he's always been on both sides, and he knows. You give them an inch and they're just going to take your entire fucking life. So like whether or not it's right or wrong, like we're saying, I'm not saying it's either. I'm on Joel's side because I think I would have to do the same thing. Like it's just like love versus, I don't know, like do we really care about the world or do you care about KO?
It's the whole trolley conundrum. Like,
like
the whole, you're on a train track. There's a fork in the tracks. On one side is one person who's your family member. On the other side is 5 criminals. Who are you saving?
Well, your family, obviously.
My family member. What?
But what I'm saying is like, you don't know the crimes of these people. You don't know whether or not they're I'm just saying it's that conundrum. You know what I mean? Like, which one is morally better? The fact of the matter is, either way, you're choosing murder.
Good. I can live with that choice.
Well, yeah, he's definitely killing innocent people. Like the doctor's innocent in it, like
Exactly.
maybe
he might even have kids, or he lost kids and he wants to do what's great for humanity,
Yeah, you're also killing a doctor in the post-apocalyptic world, which I'm sure people need more doctors. So.
Which is a very valuable thing, yeah.
No, I think you could definitely argue either way, but like you're saying, there's no good or you can't say 100% yes or 100% like, no, he shouldn't have done that. He should have let them, continue. And, just from the events of the show and from what we learn about Joel, like he's not that kind of dude. He's not he's not Captain America. He is more like Logan, he's just going to go in and do what needs to be done.
Captain America would have let the girl die?
No, he wouldn't have killed anyone. Like Cap would throw your shield, you're knocked unconscious, and when the doctor's about to do it, he'd be like, drop that needle. And the doctor would listen to him because he's Cap. That's a different situation, I think.
Can you imagine?
But like Logan, there's no talking. Logan is gonna take the claws out, right? And he's gonna let me get X-23, we're out of here. I think of it in that it's the same kind of thing, it's all referencing whatchamacallit, that old Japanese movie. Fuck.
Something in the Bear.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Something in the Bear. Something in the Bear. Coming to CBS. This
It is. It's the same thing Mandalorian is based off
Exactly. Of. Another Pedro Pascal escorting a little child.
A little child across the land. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like those kind of stories though, because it's cool, especially. Oh man, we're going to talk about Logan next. These two go together in a cool way.
Shit. They do actually.
Nice.
They do.
I don't know if I have much more to say about the show. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I think it takes us to the Joe Pesci Nexus.
Yeah. I'm at the JP Nexeasy.
Okay.
Horizon Nexeasy. All right, you guys.
Who wants to go first? Anybody in particular?
I'll go first. Or if Jake, it seems like you're ready.
You go.
I think before I came on, I was going to give it a certain score. Then we were talking about it. I'm like, I think I want to give it a lower score. But now after we've talked about it a lot, it's not a perfect show. It's not a 6 at all. But you know what? I liked it. I will watch the second season and I'm going to give it a 4.8.
What? 4.8? That's low shit. You've given worse things.
Hold on. And this is something else I want to say too that I've been thinking about it. Hold on. On the Joe Pesci scale, right? I think we've rated comics, movies, TV shows. I think it's easier. I fucked up movies. Like by giving Mortal Kombat a 6, forget it. It does. I don't even know. I think we've been a little bit better at comics and TV. Like
I think the Joe Pesci scale is fluid. Right. I think a 4. I think giving Mortal Kombat a 6 and this a 4.8 is completely valid. I feel like,
worse than Mortal Kombat.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Last of Us. Mortal Kombat's a video game movie that doesn't sound like a video game.
Oh shit. It is also. That's actually a good comparison.
And Mortal Kombat is referenced in The Last of Us.
True. Yeah. And we watched it on HBO.
Oh.
What's crazy?
It's true. It's on HBO Max, remember?
It's like we're in the HBO timeline.
Video game verse.
Yeah, the video game verse.
And like you said, HBO connects to its other things, so I wonder if these can connect somehow.
I don't even know if we're living life right now so much as an HBO simulation.
So I think actually I'm gonna also give it a 4.8.
Yeah, 4.8.
I think I was actually before we talked about it. I had committed to like a 4.5.
Oh, I started at a 5. This is where I ended up.
That's crazy.
See, I started at a 4.5 because I liked the show a lot, and the high points definitely outweigh the low points and the things I don't like about it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's. I don't know. I have my I'm not upset that there wasn't more action. I like that it was a drama, but just flesh it out more. Then give me more characters to care about. You know what I mean? Do some more world building.
I don't know. I don't know if for me if world building is the correct, because I feel like it built a really good world of what post-apocalyptic America looks like.
But it built a good world, but it just gave us, it felt like a teaser of the world. It didn't really dive in and show us like enough of the nitty gritty. Like in reality, we know a little bit about like 2 QZs, Jackson, and that's like about it. You know what I mean? They do an exposition. You find out Pittsburgh fell. You found out, there's all these different things. But like, I don't know. I just like wanted. I feel like had they given the show an additional 4 hours, I would have given it a 6.
Mm-hmm. And also, maybe it wouldn't have been the most exciting TV, and it kind of goes against what you were saying before. But like, even if there was just an episode with Joel and Ellie, like traveling through maybe a specific city or location, but never running into any other humans or never running into any other infected, because that does happen in the game, right? Like at the beginning of the game, you're not constantly running into infected, and I think it would have given you a chance to see more of like certain locations or. I get what Cody's saying. I don't know if that is the right way to go about it, but I would have liked to have been more immersed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think cutting the last episode down by 20 minutes. I think honestly what they should have done, I know that you want to wrap up your first season of a show because you don't know if you'll get more of it. But when you have like stars as big as these two on a property as big as this one, be pretty confident and like, if they would have done like the first half of the first game and like just done in the same amount of time and just like really get you in, really build a roster, maybe end at Jackson or something like that. I think the show I would have given it a 6. I just needed a little more, like I said, a little undercooked.
That's fair. I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Nice.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think that's too high by any means.
There's like a lot of cool work that went into the show that I think people think is either CGI when it's actually...
Oh, people thought the giraffe was CGI, but it's not.
That people thought the bloater was CGI. It's literally a dude in a prosthetic suit.
Oh shit! And he's the one that's screaming.
No, he's the big guy.
Bloater's the big one
that rips the head off in episode 5.
Oh, okay.
That dude's a real that's a real fucking thing. There's a lot of like cool work, like just the work of like filming that went into it. That's pretty impressive. Not to say there's not CGI in the show.
Hey boys, I'm late. I gotta go.
All right, we'll sign the show off. So no, I get what you're saying. I feel like the giraffe scene, right? I think what made it look CGI is the background. Like the background, and I think it goes back to Cody's point where it just, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it just, the world, like, yes, you saw that there was like ivy and shit overgrown on the buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it was just there, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say it was bad. Like, I enjoyed it. I'm going to watch the second season.
No, I know. It's just like the background looks like that and it's a TV show. I can tolerate more than like an MCU movie having a massive budget and still looking like dog shit.
No, for sure. And to that point, this show was better than a lot of MCU TV easily,
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth a watch. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to watch the second season.
Sticking with my 5.5.
Yeah, and I also want to go back and play the game. Like, I played it when it came out in 2013, but only got like halfway through, and that's that.
I'll be back for season 2. For sure.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week.
Hey.
Oh, next week, actually, our episode is our interview with Abraham Josephine Reisman. We talked to her about Ringmaster, the Vince McMahon book. So that was a cool interview.
Yeah, peep that.
Listen to that one. Go to comicsandchronic.com. Follow us on and rate us on Spotify and Apple. Follow us on Twitter, IG, TikTok, YouTube.
Hit us up.
Eat mushrooms.
Just get silly.
All right, peace. Get silly.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo! Peace.